Greetings, my fellow nerds. I'm Chris, and welcome back to D's Nerds. And today we're going to be reviewing episode 2 of Superman and Lois. So I assume that if you are watching this video, that you've watched, episode 1 and at least episode 2. So, we're going to be talking spoilers. So, just know that going in. Just so if you haven't seen this episode, then don't watch this video. Come back after you've watched it. So obviously, we kind of the repercussions of the first episode, which is where we figure out that Jordan actually has some powers. That has some repercussions that plays on into this episode. This episode particularly has a lot of plot lines. It's clear that they're casting out a wide net and that they're going to kind of resolve these as they go throughout the season. But they handled it all really well, and it moved really briskly, I thought. But anyway, Jordan is going with Clark to the Fortress of Solitude to get further testing on his powers that he just recently figured out he has. So there they meet the holographic form of Jor-El, and they run tests. And basically, Jor-El's all like, oh, he doesn't have enough Kryptonian in him to really be able to control him or really know when it's going to manifest itself in any way. And of course Jordan hears that and he gets all upset and very angsty. He's definitely the very broody, dark and twisty one of the show. Of course Superman's and Clark's just trying to figure out how to reach him. And so there's that plot line. Of course Jonathan, after the move from Smallville, he's trying to get on with the football team. Well, after the repercussions of the fight that they had with the kids at that party there where Jordan had kissed, can't remember her name anyway. If you watch this channel enough by now, I'm terrible with names. But, anyway, tried to kiss, boyfriend got mad, and of course Jonathan intervened in the fight as well. Well, now Jonathan is trying to get on the football team out there, and, the football players, they really don't like him because of that, so they're messing with his playbook, they're making sure that he looks really bad on the football field. So, so there's that kind of plot line where Jonathan's very much feeling like a fish out of water, especially as someone who very much had his life and felt very comfortable in a situation where he was in Metropolis. So really, in kind of a way, Jordan and Jonathan have kind of switched a little bit. Jordan really felt out of place in Metropolis. I'm not saying he necessarily has found his place here, but he definitely, I think, feels a little bit more comfortable because Jonathan was completely happy and now has just been completely ripped away from all that, from his girlfriend, from being the starting quarterback as a freshman at a high school there in Metropolis, to now, where he's at now. He's effectively being bullied and hazed, which is in no way cool at all. But you've also got Lois Lane. They kind of give her more of a purpose as opposed to just being like, Clark, whatever you want, from the first episode, to kind of really finding purpose. Morgan Edge is appearing at the city council meeting there. She goes there. She pointedly kind of asks him some questions. He kind of rebukes it a little bit. She writes a really scathing article, and it ends up, since Morgan Edge also owns the Daily Planet, he basically sits there and rewrites it, gets it out there, and that's not the article she wrote. She quits on the spot, and she goes to work for the paper in Smallville there at the time. So now she has the freedom to do what she wants, and it's clear that that's her big baddie for this season, is Morgan Edge. Superman storyline, we're kind of continuing with this mysterious person that it looks like kind of a futuristic kind of ship or something like that says that calls him Captain Luthor, although I really don't think it's Lex Luthor at this point. But of course he's trying to find more kryptonite in order to battle Superman, and we basically kind of figure out that at some point, there was another Superman on another planet, and then at the end they kind of show a flashback to that, and it's actually Superman, and we figure out more than likely it's an alternate, it's part of the multiverse, so it's another dimension. So I think that's going to be interesting. So probably what we have here is we have a situation where we have a character that Superman destroyed his Earth, or whatever, and he's been brought to this Earth, and now he's trying to take out this Superman. So that's where it seems like it's heading to me. But overall, I think it's really interesting. I thought the action in this was a big step up from the first one, at least as far as the number of action sequences. So I really thought that was cool. In particular, there's this one part where General Lane is trying to call Superman, And of course, this guy kind of shows up, and they're trying to get, and of course he wipes out all the military forces, kind of grabs General Lane. Superman intervenes at that point, and he's given this thing that has like, either in one way it has a sequence of numbers, but the other way it says hell, but it's got the Superman logo on it. It's like a little medallion kind of thing. So but that whole sequence was really good. But it turns out that this guy was not in that suit. He was kind of remotely controlling the suit. So, and he's trying to figure out new ways of like trying to build a new suit. And apparently there's no kryptonite anywhere on Earth. But we also find out that General Lane has been stockpiling kryptonite, which Clark or Lois have any clue on that. So there's definitely that going on. Like I said, there's just a lot happening at once. Like General Lane basically tells Clark that, like telling his sons that Superman is going to rip the family apart and he's making a huge mistake. I mean, there's definitely a lot of drama within this show, but there's also a lot of great comic book awesomeness, which I think I reiterate what I said in the first video, the first episode. I feel like this show has really kind of hit on something that is going to make this potentially, I don't want to get ahead of myself. I'm not trying to speak, in hyperbole or anything like that. But I do think that this is going to be a definitive Superman story in live action. Again, the cast is phenomenal. Tyler Hoechlin as Superman is just absolutely awesome. He is on the smaller side, but to me, I mean, again, you cast the actor and the performance. You can kind of fill in the rest later, and that's okay. The cast is great. The cinematography, I mean, for a CW show, because I always thought the CW shows, the Arrowverse shows, looked really good, and I still think that. But this feels like a little bit more of a step up in almost, it's just about cinematic quality to me. And so I think that that's absolutely amazing. I think the mixture of drama and the fact that it's more family drama is also really interesting and very cool with the comic book action, kind of science fiction-y kind of stuff that's going on there. It also works out really well there too. So I think it's a perfect blend. I think that having, Lois have her own story, because I think making sure that one of the most powerful women in comics, not necessarily in superpower sense, but just in terms of being a woman and being a career woman, giving her something to aspire towards as opposed to just being the doting housewife to Clark, which they kind of portrayed her as a little bit of in the first episode. I'm glad to see that now they've kind of switched. Now they're taking the time to tell her story. Okay, she's going to go out and she's going to go be Lois Lane again, which is fantastic. And I think that was amazing there. Having the Superman part, having, the Clark part, but then also having the family dynamic and also the brothers having their own stories. So what it does is, even though this is a Superman show, the whole weight of the show is not on Superman, which is fantastic. You care about Lois Lane and her story. You care about Jonathan and Jordan and their stories. You care about Clark and Superman's stories and how they all kind of intertwine. It works out really well. So this was a really good episode. It moved really fast. It had a bunch of different stuff, but it didn't feel like it was almost like an anthology where, okay, we're going to tell this story, then we're going to tell this story, then we're going to tell this story. It all intertwined really well. And I'm just really stoked to watch the third episode and get caught up, because I know that, I think we're on like episode 9 that's out now, and I'm definitely playing catch up. So guys, I would love to hear your thoughts on this, because I am so excited about this show and just love where it's headed and can't wait for more. So please let me know your comments as well. If you like what we're doing here at D's Nerds, of course, we're just two nerds on one channel talking about the things we love and why we love them. Please subscribe to our channel, hit the bell icon so you know whenever we have new videos coming out. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and I've kind of took a little bit of a break on that this week because it's summertime and we've been outside a lot more, but typically I'm on there quite a bit, pretty much posting daily. So if you're missing us in between videos, please check us out there. And we also have merch. If you want to support the channel, go down to our link there in the description to our store, and anything you buy there just supports the channel, and we appreciate that very, very much. So guys, until next time, I am Chris and this is D's Nerds. You guys have a great, safe rest of the day. Bye.